So hello. So today I'm
Hello.
with Sirius, Serbian Quake Champions player for Granite Gaming. So how are you doing?
I'm doing fine, man.
All right. All
Really
right,
fine.
perfect. So I've got a bunch of questions for you. So let's start with your origin of gaming. Like, how did you start playing? What was your first experience? What basically got you into gaming?
What got me into gaming, I'd say I was a really young kid, like maybe a couple of years old.
Mm-hmm.
And I remember watching my brothers play Medal of Honor Allied Assault. That was like back in 2001 or 2002. And I think that was my first FPS game or gaming experience. Like, then I started playing Quake. Like, I'm sure there's some family recordings of me playing against bot Nightmare on DM17 when I was a kid and beating him. Like, so that's my first Quake accomplishment when I was like 4 or 5 years old.
Damn.
Yeah, so yeah, basically, like I grew up beside my brothers, like watching them play. The friends used to come over. They had LAN parties and stuff like that, and I just got like into Quake by watching them.
Okay. Well, that's pretty cool. So tell me, basically, how popular is gaming in Serbia? Is it like very common spread and everything, or is it just like very niche?
I don't think it's a thing here still. Like, uh, I think it's yet to grow in Serbia. Like, we have some small like events here and then, but yeah, like it's basically maybe some League of Legends stuff and Dota, but that's pretty much it. Like, we have a scene, we have awesome players in all kinds of games, like especially CS, obviously, and I think even League of Legends. I'm not sure, and we have a really good StarCraft player, but the scene is so underdeveloped.
Mhm.
Like, we're so far behind the Western world,
Okay,
like like with everything else.
that's pretty cool. So now tell me, what got you, what motivated you to start competing in Quake?
What motivated me? Well, it was kind of like a gradual process because I started playing Quake Live like in 2009, and before that, I took years and years of breaks from Quake because I was focusing on elementary school. I was still a kid back then, and my bros introduced me to Quake Live. They, my bro showed me, hey, this is a thing now. You can play Quake 3 Arena basically in your browser, and I started playing that like on and off for like 6 years, I'd say, and I already got to a pretty good level. Like, um, I was about to start competing back in Quake Live, but I realized in the end I didn't want to take this direction in life and tried focusing on music and other things and left gaming completely. So when I heard Quake Champions was a thing, like Quake is making a comeback and it's gonna have tournaments, I was like, I just thought to myself, okay, now this is my chance. I better use it. Because Quake Live was already previously like dying down. We ended up from having IEMs, whatever they're called, DreamHacks. We had DreamHack Summer, DreamHack Winter. We had a bunch of lands to ended up only just having QuakeCon in the end.
Yeah, true.
Like, that was the only Quake live LAN, and yeah, just wasn't worth it. Like, playing the game,
Okay. All right, I see.
and then yeah, and with Quake Champions, like once everyone heard about the $1 million tournament, yeah, we all wanted to come back.
So I don't really remember. Did you take part in the 2017 Quake Champions World Championship?
Nope,
Okay.
I didn't. I tried, but I didn't have a PC at
Okay.
that point. I had a GTX 460 and an AMD Athlon X4 something. So yeah, I literally couldn't play the game.
Okay. So you mostly competed in online tournaments, right?
Yeah,
Okay. So yeah, you got like some really good results. You managed to make a name for yourself. And if I recall correctly, DreamHack Tour was your very first LAN.
yeah, that was my first LAN.
Okay.
That was the 2v2 LAN I went with Strengths.
Hmm.
And
So how was it basically your very first LAN experience? Because if I think you made top 18. So was that like a performance you expected? How did it go? What was your
nah, like uh what we expected was to get top 8, top
okay?
4 even. And a lot of people thought we could get top 4. But yeah, first line experience. I'm not gonna go into details because I consider Strengths a friend, a very good friend. So I don't want to like blame anyone. But yeah, like it was very disappointing,
Mm,
especially since I really wanted to prove myself,
yeah.
like that I'm a legit player, and that was my chance. So I had quite an emotional moment once we lost, like came to some realizations, and yeah, it was just unfortunate that we lost so early because I still think we could have done a lot better in that land.
Okay. So while we're on the topic of 2v2, because DreamHack Tour was a 2v2 tournament, I want to have your opinion on this game mode. Like, do you really enjoy playing it? Like, how do you see it compared to Duel, which I think is what you mostly play?
No, I mostly play 2v2.
Oh, actually, okay.
Yeah, yeah. Like I really enjoy team games and team modes of all kinds. Like that's why I'm so hyped for CTF, like everyone else on the
Yeah.
planet. And I really enjoy 2v2. I think it's the best mode Quake has ever had.
Oh.
Like apart from CTF and the other Quakes, like I think 2v2 is the most enjoyable thing I've played in any version of Quake,
All right. All right.
and I really like it. And I'm kind of sad that DreamHack Winter is going to be the last 2v2 tournament. Apparently, we don't
Well,
know if that's true, but it could be very
it could
well.
be, yeah, but we'll see, honestly.
Yeah,
So tell me, did you play Sacrifice?
I played it briefly, and I started off late because I had only gotten my PC at that point, and well, let me readjust this. Yeah, I had only got a GTX 960 as a donation from a good friend of mine. It's even worse now. Yeah, um, and I started playing Quake seriously in like end of August
Mm-hmm.
2017, and I was talking to Ins Bruno,
Yeah.
and yeah, everyone does. Yeah, we wanted to make a team, so we were talking about sacrifice, and I suggested for us to team up, and we were supposed to play like me, Ins, Hal, aka Sturmy's brother, Thomas, and who was the fourth? Who was the fourth? Memphis, which is the Spanish player, CPM player, and there was an unfortunate event where I had to like move to Belgrade, the capital, uh, for university purposes, and I didn't have internet for like 2 weeks, and that was just in time for the DreamHack winter qualifiers
Mm.
for Sacrifice last year. And yeah, so they had to play with Zoot, I think, and they had to play with ZSX, make some ridiculous like combinations, and we still did pretty well. But I think we could have qualified like easily. So it's kind of a shame that I started competing so late in this game.
Okay.
Like I wish I was there for like 2017 the entirety. But yeah, you
That's
gotta
pretty
do
cool.
it. Yeah,
So the people that you've played 2v2 with. So first, Strengths and DreamHack Tour. Then I think I remember you playing with Ince on a bunch of online tournaments. And now you're playing with FaZe in Grand Gaming, right?
Yeah,
I think you.
actually, my first teammate in TVT was a friend of mine called Percussor. He's Lithuanian, and that was really like early on when Twitter just started becoming a thing. Like even I think it was like October, November last year, and yeah, we played a bunch of cups. We actually did pretty well,
So
and
yeah, I remember you playing with Ince. I think it was a Battlefly Cup, and actually with a friend of mine, Ines Makan, we played against you and Ince. I remember you destroying me. It was pretty funny. It was
oh
pretty
yeah,
funny.
yeah, yeah.
That was a good
We played the
experience.
walking. Yeah, we
Yeah,
played the
exactly.
walking.
Yeah, I won't say what the score was, but so tell me, with your partners, like basically, how would you compare playing with those people with Strengths, Ince, and FaZe?
It's a completely different experience playing with all three of them. Like Strengths is a very specific guy. He's really hard to work with because he's a dual player, like mainly,
Yeah.
and it takes time for him to adapt to like playing actual team games, like thinking about more than just one enemy. So it's a very different experience. Like I played with Ents right after Strengths, and it was like mind blowing. We were doing so freaking well, like without any practice at all. I remember like us getting to a bunch of finals, even beating Kron and Silence Up when they were playing together once, and basically only losing to Tox and Claus, who were playing at the time.
Okay.
And
And
yeah, it was. I really enjoy playing with Ents. I think like we're potentially the strongest team on the planet.
wow,
Like no joke,
stronger
literally.
than Team Liquid.
I think we might be the only ones to give them a chance to have a chance beating them at
All
DreamHack
right.
Winter.
Okay.
But
Wait.
it's not
So,
going to happen.
but you're playing with FaZe now, right?
Yeah, now I'm playing with Face.
So how
I
did
mean,
that happen, basically?
December. Kind of happened since originally I was gonna team up with Ents,
Mhm.
and we were supposed to go to QuakeCon, but then I didn't get my visa in time.
Yeah.
He didn't have the money by the time of QuakeCon, and he got really like demotivated and switched to Fortnite.
Wow. Damn.
Yeah, he
That's a
stopped
shock.
playing Quake for a while, for like 2 months or something.
Okay.
And yeah, he came back like relatively recently, which is already kind of too late because in the meantime, I had also taken a break from like playing cups and stuff like that. And I remember it was a Battlefield Cup. It was like 5 minutes before sign-ups closed, and we were chatting on Zoom stream, and I saw FaZe in chat, and I just asked him, "Yo, FaZe, let's sign up. We have like 5 minutes." And I remember we actually beat some notable teams like Litz and Bus Driver, and we only lost to Maestro EU in a really close series and finished second in the tournament. So we were like, "Oh, this is actually we have some awesome chemistry, like instantly working together." It's like something clicks and you're already playing good with someone.
Damn.
So yeah, we just kind of continued playing.
Okay, that's pretty awesome. And so
Yeah,
you're now both signed to Granite Gaming. So how did this happen? Like, did you approach them? Did they approach you?
that was thanks to FaZe because the guy knows his stuff. Like he sent a bunch of emails to organizations. Like he made CVs for us, uh, and we got contacted by Granite like 2 weeks ago or something. And yeah, we had a nice meeting with them, like a talk. Found out they're really nice guys. Like we click with each other. They treat their players really well, and yeah, we just decided to go for it. Especially
Okay,
at this point, it's like 2 weeks before DreamHack, so
that's perfect.
you gotta,
So
yeah,
you'll be
perfect time.
so flying. to DreamHack Winter, right?
Yeah.
Okay, right, perfect. So how do you see this event? Like, because there will be a dual tournament and a 2v2 tournament. Like, what are your predictions?
Um, my predictions for like rankings for like
Yeah.
both TV2 and duel. Uh, I'd have to say it's gonna be really tough. The competition is gonna be so tough. It's gonna be so stacked.
Yeah.
I think it's gonna be more stacked than PGL, and PGL was already
Yeah.
like insane with the amount of players and the amount of big names that were there, like playing, competing. I don't know, like top three based off the last couple of lands, because you gotta base it off something. I'd have to say like Rafa, Razy, and maybe Kilson. I'd say for
Yeah.
duel. Then again, I think I got a pretty good chance myself. Like if I stay in the right mindset, if I don't get like demotivated or something, depressed and stuff like that, like I think I have a pretty good shot of doing really well.
Okay.
And like for top eight, I'd say it's such a huge list of players that I can name
Mm.
that could fit into top eight. Like I named Rafa, Razy, Kilson,
Vanger,
Self,
I think.
Venger, of course. I was about to name him. Then we got
A cooler, of course. Yeah.
no Cooler. Cooler always like never underestimate Cooler. He's like even when you see him play online and you win him or something, and you see him struggle against like mid-tier players, and he comes to land and just rapes everyone.
Yeah.
Like that's classic Cooler. And Cypher, of course. Like Cypher, I think Cypher has some sort of a mental block
Mm.
going on like at the moment. Like that's why he's not been doing so well. But uh I don't know. I really hope he gets that sorted out, and he can definitely be a contender for even number one, in my opinion. Because again, it's Cypher. It's the probably considered by some, considered by yeah, like to be the greatest Quake player of all time, like the most talented. I mean, now we know it's Rafa. Like if you look at tournament wins, but then again, like Cypher had a thing with him. Like you can't really describe it. You just say Cypher because he controls the game. He changes everything. Like when you play Cypher, it's not Quake anymore. You play his game.
Yeah. Yeah. I see what you mean.
Yeah.
So now tell me,
So
out of all those players that you've named, out of all those top
oh,
contenders
Toxic.
for
I forgot
yeah,
Toxic.
toxic, of course. So
You can't
basically,
forget
out of
Toxic.
all those players that are very likely, to win DreamHack Winter, which one do you think you'd like the most to beat? Like, which one do you think would be like the biggest victory to defeat?
For me,
Yeah.
um, definitely Rafa.
Okay.
Like I think he is the player to beat. Yeah,
Okay.
definitely. Maybe Razy on LAN. Like I'd like to play Razy at DreamHack Winter. Like I didn't get the chance to do it at PGL. Uh, but yeah, I'd really love to play Razy, and I want to get my revenge on Rafa.
Yeah. From PGL.
Yeah, definitely. Yeah, and I don't know who else. Like I think those two are like the main guys to beat
Mm.
if you
Okay.
want to consider yourself a top contender.
Yeah. Definitely. Okay. So going back a bit, I think that was after DreamHack Tour. I remember there was like a pretty big controversy that I feel like not a lot of people really know what happened. And so there's like a lot of mystery about it, about like you cheating or doing something during an online cup. So I'm not even sure like if it was a Battlefight Cup or something, but yeah, I remember seeing a bit of drama on Twitter about it, and like I feel like basically very few
No,
people know what's happened.
there was me accusing another player of cheating. If
Okay,
you're talking about quick champions,
okay,
yeah, I mean we can talk about it, but it's not really. Basically, I got tilted during a cup, and I started accusing now a very good friend of mine
okay,
since we met at PGL. Like, yeah, I was accusing him of cheating, like
okay.
wall hacking and stuff like that. Then again, it's me not being able to control myself, not being able to accept that I'm actually losing to somebody. Yeah, that's ego issues.
Okay, all right,
Nothing
I
more than
see.
that, really. Like, it's all over now. It's not a thing anymore.
Okay, good. All right. Well, I'm glad that now we know a bit more what happened. So,
Yeah,
your latest LAN, so PGL, where you made top eight. So basically, how did you manage to get top eight after your previous LAN experience at DreamHack Tour being definitely
because
not as good?
this is dual, and I knew everything was on me. Like, I had no pressure in a sense of like uh, thinking about how well my teammate is going to perform. Like, everything was on me. If I lose, it's my fault. It's not like my teammate choking or something. So yeah, like it all started basically. I wasn't even thinking about PGL that much up until like even maybe late August, early September, because I was in quite a slump at that point. I wasn't even really playing. Uh, I was basically just. I remember there was a Battlefy Cup on September 16th or 15th or something, and I signed up like randomly, and I played against Cypher, and to everyone's surprise, at that time I raped him. Yeah, and then I had to play Razy, and I beat him in the winner bracket finals also, and I lost him in the grand finals because he came back from the loser bracket. But still, it was like a nice showing of me online. Like after a while, like second place. Then I don't. I think it was another Battlefy Cup or something. Like I got a sudden. I can't really explain it. I got a sudden boost of confidence, like just before PGL, and I was like, I think something clicked in my head that made me completely switch my playstyle from like super defensive, not having the guts to do anything like mid game. Like I get one kill, then I run around for 5 minutes, like just trying to play safe. I give up. I used to give up like control completely to the opponent, like letting him get back the control and then hunting me down and killing me. That's how I used to lose duels. And then like after that slump I had in August, like I didn't play for a couple of weeks, and I just something just clicked in my head, and I signed up for the dual tournament, and I started playing as a completely different player, and I was like, oh wow, what's going on? Like I legit have a chance to like do something at PGL right now, and yeah, like I'd say that's how it started. Like it wasn't even like some grinding preparation and stuff like that. I mean, I grinded, but it was like for 2 weeks or something. So it wasn't really. I didn't pull off a cooler or something, and like yeah, like especially, I was under a lot of pressure again because I was thinking to myself like, okay, you didn't prove yourself at DreamHack Tour, even though it was 2v2, you still can't say you proved yourself. So like PGL was my chance, so all the pressure was on me, and I knew I was aiming for top 8 since the beginning, even though I was telling people I was aiming for top 16, but I knew I could get top 8, and yeah, I actually did it. Like my first dual LAN, my biggest achievement so
Yeah,
far,
yeah,
like
and then no
in
one saw
life
that
in
coming.
general.
It's funny because
Yeah,
I remember it was Karen, the guy who hosts the Quake Champions Pro YouTube channel. He made a video. I think like he took, I think it was four or
yeah,
six players.
Karim.
Like that could be like a potential.
Yeah, potential winners.
Yeah,
Yeah,
and
I
yeah,
watched
there
it.
was a video with you and because like I was a bit shocked because and yeah, I remember even commenting like, "Serious won't make top eight." Then when you made top eight, I'm like, "Wow, fuck, okay, yeah, he did." Damn, like I really feel like no one like except yeah you or like your friends like basically like the whole community. I remember on Reddit like the whole community was shocked that you managed to go that far. It was like yeah, really did this breakout performance from you, so it was quite impressive.
I mean, yeah, like people were surprised, but some people weren't. Like I had some I had a lot of people like believing in me, like that I could get even like top 8, top 4, top 1, of course. Like even Sparty was like predicting me to get like at least top 4,
Mm.
even though he knows it's my first dual land. And Ints, of course, and Phase, like they were my support at PGL, like always behind me, backing me up. Like yeah,
And that's
and
pretty cool.
yeah, it is like
So, out of all those players that you named, so the one that you're very close with, so as you said, Sparty, Inns, FaZe, is there any one of those players that basically like, acts like a coach, a mental coach, or like someone like a master, I don't know, to give you some tips and help you improve?
that's definitely gotta be Ints.
Oh
Even though I had some talks with Sparty, it's gotta be Ints because since forever, like indirectly, Ints always coached me in a
yeah.
way. Like even when I started dueling, he used to like shit talk me all the time for playing so bad. But he was trying to like get a message inside my head, like to completely change my playstyle, to play differently, to use the things that I have an advantage over the opponent, like my aim and things like that. So honestly, like Ince was my coach in a way. He made me. He shaped the dual player in me, I
Wow.
guess.
Yeah, that's pretty cool. All
Yeah.
right. So tell me, now I want to talk a bit about your playstyle and more precisely your aim, because I remember during PGL, like on Reddit, there was a bunch of clips for like Sirius's LG, and like everyone was like, "Wow, this guy's LG is amazing." And what I noticed a bit when watching your gameplay is that you seem to aim at the feet with your LG. Is that intentional?
That's something I just got used to.
Hmm.
Like in Quake Champions, I don't know why I even started. Like I never used to do that in Quake Live, even though my LG was just as impressive, if not more, to be honest. But yeah, I don't know. Like there's not really a reason or something behind it. Basically, I just aim there because I find it easier.
Okay. Well, it seems to work
Not gonna,
definitely.
it's not gonna make you. I can aim at the body and hit the same. I'm just like when I switch to LG, I first look at somebody's feet to see
Mm.
like their direction they're dodging in. So maybe that's a mental thing, like
Okay.
easier to track.
Well, that's pretty cool because it's like your signature movement, basically, just LGing the enemy's feet. So it is pretty nice.
I
So
mean,
basically,
Claws does it too, so
well, I
it's
haven't
not just
noticed
me.
it that much, but I'll keep an eye on it. So
Yeah,
tell
he
me,
does it.
apart from basically LGing your enemy's feet, like what else do you think of? Like what are you conscious about basically when playing duel?
Um, you mean my approach to duel
Yeah,
and how I
basically.
approach
How would you
like
describe your playstyle?
uh very unpolished. um, how would I describe my playstyle? Like I have a classic, like we used to call it ABC playstyle. Like it's nothing special. It's mostly I like to position myself in. I don't really play on items that much.
Mm,
Like when I'm really focused, I try and like at least maintain control of one item, and maybe if I'm out of control, like you always need to like that's the hard thing about duel because if your opponent is in full control, you're basically screwed.
mm,
So you need to find yourself a way to deal damage to punish them for taking items like with by having taking better positions. So I like to think of myself as a very good player
mm.
positionally because I like to position myself in a way from which I can deal a lot of damage, especially with the LG or like rail. I like to take angles that the opponent wouldn't expect, and yeah, that's basically my thought process during a duel. How
Okay.
to like trying to pressure the opponent at all times by dealing damage, even though he's taking the items. Like somebody takes the mega and you rail him right after, you basically nullify that.
Mm.
So their advantage is gone. Now
Yeah,
it's
totally.
down to raw aim or just hit another rail and go in.
Mm.
That's it.
So now on the other hand, 2v2, what is your approach to this game mode?
2v2 is a bit different because Um, like it depends on the map. It depends on who you're playing with. Like there's no approach to 2v2, but in general, it's kind of uh like playing together is so crucial in
Mm,
2v2 because that's what you see in like Team Liquid. They play so well together. They communicate. They always let each other know where they are, where the enemy is, who they're fighting, how many are they fighting, and I think that's crucial in like 2v2. Like the communication itself, like really needs to be on point if you want a tournament winning 2v2 team. That's why I think they're so freaking good. Like, and that's why I think they will be unchallenged at the DreamHack Winter.
yeah.
Like, I don't see anyone taking a map even
Yeah.
from them.
So
Like,
basically,
really.
regarding communication, do you have like any codes, any I don't know, like shortened versions of words that you use, like so some way to have make communication as efficient as possible with phase?
I mean, we practiced our stuff. We were like went down to each map and like practiced naming the
Okay,
positions,
yeah,
just running around the map. Uh, I guess we stole some stuff from Liquid, like
mm,
everyone else,
yeah.
like fire.
I mean, they
For
are the
when you
big
have,
daddies of Quake 2v2,
yeah,
so.
like when you have all three totems up, you just say
Okay.
fire and totems or whatever. Or like when there's a totem at the TP exit, teleport exit, you just say danger.
Mm.
Yeah, it's kind of simple when they. So I guess we stole some lines from them and like passive. Yeah, that's the classic the hang line.
Yeah. You take and all.
Yeah, you take.
Yeah, all this. It's pretty cool.
I
That was
had to
also like,
concede.
yeah, yeah, exactly. I remember like all this communication from Team Liquid. That was something that basically also really surprised like on the subreddit because during DreamHack Tour, the casters would go inside the player's communication and like would get to hear all the call outs by Team
Yeah,
Liquid. That was really impressive, and I feel like it really basically like woke something in the basically every players. And I think at QuakeCon we also had the players come sometimes. It felt that every team like basically stepped up their communication based on seeing Team Liquid winning. Well, part of because of this.
yeah, like definitely. I don't remember having listening to their like comms at
Mm.
QuakeCon. Like I think they said it would be a thing, but they actually never did it.
Okay.
Or maybe I just missed it. Like unlucky. But I remember at tours, uh, or rather tour, uh, like their comms compared to everyone else's, it was just a whole different
Yeah.
story. Like you could hear the energy, like how much effort they put in. Like it was like talking nonstop, but it doesn't interfere with the game, and it takes a lot of skill to be able to talk so much and while fighting, while timing the items, while doing everything else. Like it's not as simple as it might seem,
Mm.
because I struggle with doing it myself, and so does pretty much everyone else apart from them. Like,
Yeah. One thing I noticed, I remember, I think it was Rafa talking about it on his stream. It's that they even take into consideration the intensity that they use when they talk. Like for example, if Rafa says shotgun or shotgun, it really won't mean the same thing. Like one will mean that there's an enemy at shotgun, the other one will mean I need help at shotgun. And I think that just like going
yeah,
this deep into like a language
that's
comprehension and all
literally
this,
that's literally
it's
next
incredible.
level
Like
stuff.
I don't
Yeah,
even know like of any other games, like any other top players like from League of Legends, Dota, CS:GO that even go that far. I feel like it's really
yeah,
it's the peak of like teamwork basically that we have in esports.
like I haven't heard about that before, but now when you say it, like if that's true, that's
Mm.
literally like next level.
Yeah, it's amazing.
Because yeah, definitely, yeah, it's amazing.
Okay, so now going back to you. So I remember I think you telling me that you are now like full on pro gaming, like nothing else inside.
Yeah, full time streamer, I
Okay.
guess, and pro player or
All right. So
competitor.
So basically, was it with signing with Granite Gaming that basically reassured you in this decision, like got you to take this decision?
Nah, like I did it way before. Like I knew I would end up doing this, so I just went along and finished my first year of university. And as soon as that was done,
Okay.
like I knew I was gonna go full time,
Hmm.
like trying to accomplish something quick. Because if I don't use the opportunity now, I'm gonna like regret it for the
Yeah.
rest of my life. Whilst with university, I can just finish it. Like I still have years to finish the university, and
Hmm.
like this is an opportunity I need to use right now. So I'm like fully dedicated to
Well, that's awesome.
using the most of it. Like, and I really enjoy streaming.
Mm.
Like if I don't make it as a competitor, like I really want to be a streamer,
Hmm.
like a full-time streamer or something, because that sounds like a dream job.
All right. So basically, what's your schedule? Like, how much time do you spend practicing, streaming, and everything?
Um, up until lately, up until the last couple of days, or last week, it was a lot. Now I'm kind of taking a break, even though it's like 2 3 weeks before DreamHack. Like I don't want to get myself burned out because I was already feeling it a bit, so I got worried, and now I'm basically just like playing a bit, just to not forget the game, and then like in a couple of days I'll go full hard grind mode, like cooler mode,
Mm.
and basically play the shit out of the game up until DreamHack,
All right.
because I think that's how you need to approach it if you really want to be, if you really want to make something happen. Like
Definitely.
so, it's like playing 10 hours a day, pretty much, and streaming, like maybe combined 10
Mm.
hours, but still maybe even more. Honestly, like 12, 13. Like right after PGL, I remember I had streamed for 17 hours out of 24. So yeah, even
Wow.
that happened. It was like out of 3 parts. It wasn't just one stream, but
Mm.
still 17 hours out of 24, and like sleeping in between.
Damn.
So yeah, like I was really
So tell me, regarding your approach to streaming, are you more like the say class toxic style of basically like having some hidden techniques that you don't want to show on stream, like back to what they did in preparation of Dream Hack Tour, and like having those surprise picks or surprise strategies that no one saw coming during the tournament, or you're more like Team Liquid, basically just like showing everything.
nah. I don't really think about that stuff. Like I
Hmm.
just stream, and I don't care if somebody's watching, somebody's learning from me, because might help you a bit, but it's not gonna teach you anything.
Yeah.
Like I remember when I was practicing with Strengths, and he was saying, "I'm not gonna stream our practice games because we wanna keep it a secret from the opponents." Like, but look at it, what happened in the end. Like, he
Mm.
did nothing.
Yeah.
So
Yeah. I
I,
see
I
what you
don't
mean.
think there's a point to it. Like, it's useless, to be
Mm.
honest.
Okay, so now regarding the game. So as you know, we've had a bunch of PTS updates. We had a huge abilities rework.
Yeah.
So I was wondering, well, what do you think of it? What the like specifically the abilities nerf? Was that a change that you had expected, that you wanted to see?
Like, that was like the best thing I have ever heard in my entire life. Like,
Wow.
when they announced it, I was just like in disbelief because I was so happy. Like, I really don't enjoy the game. Even though I did so well at PGL, I think it was the most boring tournament.
Wait,
Like,
your audio is
up,
cutting a bit.
I'm sorry. Like I said, even though I did so well at PGL, I think it's probably the most boring tournament we've ever had.
Wow. Yeah.
Like
True. Definitely. I don't
from
know.
the quarterfinals and the finals, nothing was fun to watch.
Mm,
Like I'm not bashing on the game like right now, but I don't want it to seem that way. But it was basically Camp, DK, Orb.
yeah.
Like it was just, you knew what was gonna happen, and we were watching like from the seats at PGL, and like none of the stuff you could see was impressive or like made you wow. Or yeah, I think the last good matchup at PGL was Rafa against Claus
Mm,
match, because it was so. not ability heavy.
Yeah,
And then
it
we
was
had the
all
kills and
rails all the way.
yeah, and then we had the kills and cooler game, which
Mm.
was literally DK only and orbs. They didn't even shoot weapons, I think. Almost. But yeah, like so I think Quake really needed a complete ability rework. And that's why I like this so much, because it brings back some of the core Quake elements
Mm.
and removes some of the randomness, like with the orbs not being able to one shot anymore. That's a huge deal for me, because I
Yeah.
remember like it was ETN map number 2 against Rafa. I wasn't really playing my best, but I had finally won a round. I got control. I was about to win another round. I was 175 health, 150 armor with BJ. I had just killed his that night, and he spawns at on ZTN, like in between rockets and shotgun, at the stairs. And I knew he was gonna spawn somewhere around rockets, because that's the classic ZTN spawn from like any version of Quake. So I just went there, and he pushed up the stairs and one shot me, and that's it. You lose everything. You lose the round. Like that shouldn't be happening, like ever. No matter how hard an ability is to hit with, even though it's super easy to one shot somebody with the orb, like it should never happen, because it goes against everything Quake stands for.
Yeah.
So an update like this was like music to me, like best thing ever, literally.
So because I remember
And
also.
I'm really enjoying PTS right now, and I'm really sad we
That's
didn't
good.
get to play the Battle Fight from yesterday on
Yeah.
PTS, because I would have won everyone. Like
It's funny because
I
I
mean,
remember also
definitely would have.
when the community managers announced abilities rework on stream, like wow, I was so happy. Like I almost shed a tear with how happy I was. Like basically
Yeah,
the
yeah.
whole
Same.
subreddit was just like just positivity everywhere. So that was amazing.
Yeah, I was talking to FaZe at the time, and we were like, we both heard it at the same time. We started like typing like maniacs. Oh my god! Oh my god! Oh my god! Yeah, like unbelievable.
Yeah,
I
it,
was
it
so
is so
happy.
so cool. So
Yeah,
basically, now that you've played a bunch of PTS, like how do you feel? Where do you think abilities are basically in the meta? Because I haven't played a lot of PTS, but from what I've seen, like with how much they've nerfed abilities, I feel like some are basically like, almost how can I say this? Like more dangerous to use. Like basically high risk, low reward. Like for example, the orb
which
was
is exactly what abilities should be. They should
okay.
be more used as a utility
Hmm.
rather than something to like bullshit your way out of.
Yeah.
Like, I want to see abilities be used to like Ranger's Orb is used now. It's like a positional weapon.
Yes.
You use it to gain position over your enemy. Use it as a distraction, like mid combat. Like you throw an orb and you keep aiming, and he has to turn around because he doesn't know if you're gonna or port or something. So, or maybe like Slash's Trail. Like it's completely situational. I want abilities to be like
Mm.
situational. I don't want abilities to be uh like BJ in the current live patch or Ranger, which basically allows you to camp in one single room
Mm.
for a full round, as we saw at previous lands,
Mm.
and win the round, win the game, just because of that. Because there's nothing your opponent can do. It can be 100. That's all you need in the current live patch. You don't need control. You only need the LG and your ability.
Mm. Okay,
Like,
so now regarding so yeah, abilities were nerfed, and also there was some changes with light receiving well they at first had a 25 extra armor on spawn and also 25 maximum armor, which was now changed in the latest PTS to just the 25 maximum armor, and also the heavy having 25 maximum armor reduced. So basically, how do you see where do you see the meta in terms of light, mediums, and heavies now?
I really hope we don't get the light meta back, because I don't think anyone wants that except for
Well, actually,
bad
some do.
aimers.
Because I
Yeah,
interviewed
people.
Razy Garpia and Nyko. They all of them were like seemed to be more keen on having lights back. Actually, like basically anarchy quite a lot.
I don't think that's anarchy should ever be back. And
Wow.
like
Okay.
speaking of lights, at least in duel, like I don't think it should be he fits into this game.
Too
And
fast?
speaking of duel, especially Athena,
Yeah.
like if any of the devs watch this, please remove her from the game. Like it's such a no skill thing to add. It's basically like I tried Athena yesterday, like against Nico. We played PTS.
Mhm.
I tried Athena for the first time myself, and I played like an absolute god with her because it's so easy to do everything.
Mm.
It basically takes away all the skill in a single duel match. Play with Athena, like literally hook onto somebody. You can't miss the shotgun point blank, no matter how bad you are at aiming. Basically, a way of having really bad players be efficient.
Mm.
Now they can be efficient even with because such a champion allows it.
Mm.
And it was the same with Anarchy when he was like really unbalanced at the beginning. Like you had random people like with no ability at all and no dual knowledge, no aim, nothing. Just run around and kill people with gauntlet,
Mm.
and it was working because that's how Anarchy was in the beginning.
Okay.
Like you just run around, you're not hittable, and there's nothing the opponent can do about it.
Mm.
Like I feel it's the same. It's really similar with Athena now, and
Wait, it's actually pretty
Anarchy,
funny.
even though he's a lot more balanced than he used to be,
Mhm.
I still don't want to see him back in the meta.
Okay.
You want? Okay. I
Uh,
think I'm losing connection or something.
oh, well, but I can
So
still hear you fine. So, okay. So what I find pretty funny is that so on the subreddit and there's a lot of players. Uh, like basically, I feel like a big part of the community wants to have lights back, like a Anarchy quite a lot, and the Slash, well, also probably even more. You know, like how hype it is, like whenever Toxic picks Flash, because yeah, because of the speed, because it's really entertaining to watch, makes all the shot more difficult to hit and more impressive with how fast you're going. And it's also interesting because there's on the other side. I think it was Bus Driver who tweeted that he wished Lightwear would not go back in the meta. They would stay at basically a medium meta. So I find it pretty interesting because yeah, that there are those two differences in the community. Well, basically how
yeah, like
drastic and how the game should be.
because Bus Driver is an aim whore. He loves to hit. He loves to aim. He
Mm,
loves to like get into raw battles,
mm,
raw fights. And with lights, you can't really have that.
yeah.
Like it's just a bunch of people running around the map and trying to be as quick as possible, and that's it.
Okay.
Like there's no fun element to
Mm,
it. Like I can understand why some people stocks on Slash because don't we all? And like maybe Vu and Anarchy
yeah,
or
of course.
somebody else on Anarchy who's really good. But then again, I don't really want to see that coming back
Mm,
because like I think it takes away everything Quake stands for. Like completely removes it, ignores everything. It's down to basically who's gonna be more boring, who's gonna engage less
mm,
in fights. Like I can't see it as a game. Like I can't take that seriously.
mm. So do you think the problem relies within the speed of the character, their acceleration, or do you think it's more with the fact that they're more difficult to hit?
They're more difficult to hit.
Mm,
It's the speed. It's their movement abilities, like crouch sliding,
mm,
like hooking onto somebody, and what's it called? Yeah, air control with
mm,
anarchy. So yeah, like I just don't think all of that fits.
mm.
I don't want to see it. I really enjoy the medium.
Okay.
I think it's the best thing we've had.
And so speaking of this, like, what do you think? Like, say based on what we have in PTS right now, what do you think the meta will be like for DreamHack Winter? Like, what do you think will be the most picks, say for duel?
For duel, like if we ignore the light champion, which I don't know. I really don't know if people are gonna go that direction.
Hmm.
Like, I'm sure Athena will be picked, but
Yeah,
I'm
definitely.
I'm just gonna ban Athena against everyone. I don't
Okay,
care. Like,
okay, all right. That's good to know.
like, yeah, I don't care. Like, it's not a secret. I'll beat you anyways. Uh, uh, I think like we don't know if this is gonna be the final release of PTS,
Hmm.
or do we? Because
There's
they
going to
made
be
some.
one last, like a few changes. I think that there's, I think it was Mortal who said that they would very slightly nerf the LG knockback, but
Oh,
like just a bit.
So they did it. That was yesterday.
Yeah, and I think that's just my expectation. I think we're going to bring back the October slash as well because like there's been so much stuff in the subreddit saying like October slash was better this than September
Yeah, I
slash. So,
agree. I agree. It was October session
mm.
was much more fun.
But apart from that,
Uh,
I don't know.
I
But
think I think the meta isn't gonna change that much, like
really,
from what it is now. Yeah, like Ranger is still useful,
hmm,
really useful. I think we're gonna see a lot more Doom than we used to.
okay, yeah, because
Because
the double jump is still super useful.
yeah, it's super useful, and Doom is just really good on some maps,
Yeah.
especially like the M6, where you can jump around. Like Ranger or Doom for the M6 are a must.
Hmm.
Visor is always he was always the meta.
I mean, Visor. What I find super crazy about it is that he's already been a must peak for like a year, basically, both in 2v2 and in duel. And
Yeah,
that with this, like he didn't get nerfed, and this abilities rework, like yeah, I think the cooldown maybe changed a bit, but it's like the same duration, the same exact effect, and whereas basically
they
pretty much
actually
everyone
did
else got
nerf him.
nerfed. Did they?
He actually got at one point he got buffed where his ability would last 7 seconds,
Yeah, and
which is
now it's 5 seconds.
absolutely insane. Yeah, now it's 5 seconds
Yeah,
again,
like he's
and
still
it used to
so
be five
strong.
seconds at the beginning. Yeah,
Uh,
because there's nothing that can nerf him. Like even if it's 2 seconds,
mm,
you still get so much info from it.
yeah,
Like if you see the opponent, that's all you want to see anyways. So
yeah,
like
but
there's nothing that can really nerf him unless it's like
well,
really hard to see somebody. Like they make it as like I don't know, like
what they
completely
could do,
blurry
uh,
image or something.
sorry.
Like I don't know how they would possibly nerf
Well,
Visor because I
okay,
don't think anything can.
so what they could do is basically make it work by wave, like a radar, basically. So it would not like show the enemy all the time, just like basically every
Ah,
1 second, or
yeah,
yeah, it would show the enemy's position, so you get like an idea of where he is, but
yeah,
not exactly
be
where he is.
that could be cool actually.
Hmm.
I like that.
But yeah, I think that if it stays that way, Visor will be the must pick at PGL,
Yeah,
like both in 2v2 and duo. So what about
yeah.
2v2? How do you see the meta in 2v2 now with the abilities nerfed and basically characters reworked and everything?
Uh, Athena Slash.
Yeah.
Nah, I mean I know some players like really playing Athena and Slash, and
Mm.
it's really annoying to play against. Like it completely destroys my will to play or practice. Like completely. I think Rain. I think Doom is gonna be
Mm-hmm.
really strong on every single map. Like as a pick,
Galena
Galena,
probably. Yeah.
Galena,
Mm.
as always, because of her support values like totems, healing, denying positions because of the totem. Like so somebody can't enter the TP because there's a totem waiting.
Mm.
Overstack, aka fire,
Mm.
when you have all three totems up. Like there's so much utility with Galena. Then you have BJ, who's still. I don't know if this is the final form of BJ. We'll see. Uh, but probably is.
Mm.
Like, actually, I don't know how useful he'll be right now.
Mm.
His ability does barely
Yeah,
like
it's
more
one
damage.
1.25
25.
times.
Yeah, it's like I think that's way too low to be
Mm.
honest. Like I don't think, and plus the nerf of like it takes half a second
Mm.
for him to start shooting like after you pop the ability.
Yeah. Well, I
So
really like the delay. Actually, it makes it
yeah, I
like
like the
you can't use
delay,
it
but
mid fight now. You need to like prepare for
yeah,
when the enemy
I
will
love
be.
the delay, but I don't like the rate of fire
Yeah.
when you have both weapons.
Yeah, like maybe 133 would be nice. What do you think?
Yeah, like anything that's slightly higher
Mm.
than this
Yeah.
133, 1.4 even.
Yeah.
I don't think it would be too high. But yeah, like small things. Who else do we have? I don't think Dick is gonna be played.
Whom?
Death Knight.
Okay, yeah.
I don't think he's gonna be played in 2v2. And can't really remember who we have left.
There's Eisen. Do you think Eisen will be played?
That's a tough one because with Eisen you have his turret, which is really annoying, like incredibly annoying, especially in 2v2. Like I remember playing scrims against some players, and they play Eisen on corrupted keep, and they put the turret at the LG at the statue, like near the head, and it's like super annoying every time you enter the TP damage, and it's super annoying to kill it because
Yeah.
turret has 120 HP,
What?
something like
120?
that. Yeah, it's
Damn.
insane. Like full point blank shotgun blast or 2 rockets or a bunch of LG, a bunch of nail gun. It takes a while to destroy it.
Yeah.
And especially when Eisen takes protection and you have the turret, it's like
Man, the protection gets the turret gets protection as well.
yeah, like it's like with Peaker.
Damn.
Yeah, it's
Dude, that is
really
scary. That
annoying.
is scary.
And same for quad, as you
Wow.
can imagine.
Okay, so that's good
Yeah,
to know.
so I don't know about Eisen.
Mm.
I've seen him work quite well on some maps, so possibly he could be a pick.
Okay. All right. So now my last questions, last 2 questions. First one will be about the ammo changes because they've also reworked, well, basically brought how ammo works from quick play to ranked. But basically now, when you pick up a weapon that you've already got, it will only refill you to the maximum. To the default basically it's like 10 for rockets. I think it's like
Yeah.
100 for LG, and whenever you pick it again it will only like give you like 1 rocket, one slug for the rail, or like 10 LG
10
ammo.
LG. Yeah,
So
I
what do you
think
think of this change?
I'm not really sure, but I think that's how it was in Quake Live.
I don't think so. Well, I think in Quake Live it was the same as it was before. So basically like when you pick the weapon up again it gives you, is it 5 or 10? I'm actually not sure.
Or maybe it was in Quake 3 because I
Yeah.
remember you not being able to like stack your ammo as much as in like maybe Quake Live or Quake Champions beforehand. I don't know. I haven't really thought about it. Like, I don't think it's gonna be so game changing
Okay.
because it's not a big deal, really. Like, you still have ammo boxes.
Yeah. Well, I think that's what this change will do. Is making ammo boxes more important now. That basically everyone will
Yeah,
have to
like
almost time the ammo boxes. Did you know how?
yeah, like
Are ammo boxes 15 or 30 seconds respawn actually?
I think they're 30 seconds.
30 seconds, alright.
Yeah, like I never really tried timing them, but I create a rotation and I'm gonna come out. Like especially, I think ammo boxes are kind of underrated. Some people, it really tilts me when I watch pro players play like Corrupted Keep. They run out of LG ammo. They have a ammo box right next to the heavy.
Yeah.
They just walked past it and they lose the fight because they didn't have any long range
Yeah.
weapons.
I see what you mean.
And
Definitely.
yeah, like make every ammo box LG ammo.
Okay. So now, so last question regarding the lightning gun and the rocket changes that was brought, because they've reworked a bit how splash damage works. So for basically the rocket and the tribal, I'm not sure if it affects nail
It's
gun.
like 10 the minimum or something.
Yeah, now it's 10 minimum. It was 15 before, and they've also reworked. I mean, like the radius. It's 3 meters now. Not sure how it was before, but yeah, they've changed a bit, and they reduced the rocket speed from about 1,100 to the Quake
To
Live
1000.
1,000 units per
Yeah,
second. So it made the rockets slower.
that's also something I really like because I really like the pace of the rockets right now. I hit more with them personally.
All right.
Even though it's kind of weird, but I'm so used to quick live rockets. I just hit better with these. Also gives you more opportunity if you're an LG player. Like I was known for my dodge in Quake Live. I used to be very good at dodging rockets, and it was kind of non-existent in this game up until now, when you can actually do something about it. Like when you're in a fight against rockets and you have the LG, now you can actually get away with it, like and not get completely crushed because rockets are so quick.
Yeah, absolutely.
And
And so regarding the LG,
So I
the
really like the rocket change. As far as tribal goes, I want to mention
yeah.
I still think it needs a nerf. Like
Mhm.
nerf it, nerf it, nerf it, nerf it. Make it 25 damage per hit. Make it do whatever you want. Just nerf it. Like it was even fine. Like during the DreamHack Tourist patch when each bolt did 50 damage,
Mhm.
but it worked in a way where it lands and it takes time to
Yeah.
like hit. If it sticks on you, it hits. It's not like tribal right now, which is
Mhm.
super strong.
Okay. And so regarding the LG, the because it was 7 before, now it's gonna be according to PTS gonna be 6 damage per ticks, and they've also I think increased the fire rate a bit to compensate for that. But I think that the overall DPS of the LG was lower to compensate for rockets now having a lower speed. Well, what do you think
I
of
think
this?
I think it's gonna be fine. Like
Hmm.
I don't have anything against the change.
All right.
I don't think it's gonna be game changing or anything. Like LG still feels nice. It's really maybe it's even a bit too easy to hit now. Like I don't know. I'm not gonna complain because I hit shitloads with it now
Mhm.
in PTS. Yeah, like I don't think nerfing it to 6 will like make the weapon useless or something.
Mhm.
Like I kind of like the change. Like even though I'm an LG whore, I love the weapon. It's like my signature weapon.
Mhm.
Uh, I'm all about the game being as balanced as it
Mhm.
can, even if it takes like even if they nerfed LG to 5 damage. Just keep the fire rate. I just want to hit with it. I don't
Mhm.
care if I do damage with it or something.
Okay. Okay. I see what you mean. Yeah.
Yeah, like when they first lowered the fire rate so much, and it was like 10 damage. Like it
Yeah.
was the worst thing I've ever felt in my life. Like I wanted to cry. So
Wow.
I have a clip on my channel where I hit like 100%. I tracked the opponent for like 90% LG, and I hit like 10% in the PTS in the first version of PTS
Mm.
with the 10 LG damage. It's like awful, but I'm really glad they listened to the feedback. They made it 6 damage, and yeah, now it's awesome. No
Okay.
complaints.
All right.
I'm glad they're listening to us.
Yeah, they are definitely. So shout out to the devs. So
Yeah.
before we end the interview, is there anything that you'd like to say and any shout out and wanted to like to thank or something?
Well, I like to thank you for doing this, for
Oh, my
doing
pleasure.
something for the community, because I think Quake really needs something like this, and it's kind of what I hope you have a lot of fun with the series, like when you did it with other players, because we need a Thorin in this community, and I think you can be that. Like,
Wow. Well, thank you.
uh,
Well, he definitely is the inspiration for this series. So thanks
yeah,
a lot,
yeah,
man.
definitely, and I don't know, maybe shoutouts to all of my uh, before mentioned friends like FaZe and Ins, and yeah, to all the people who support me.
Oh, perfect. Well, thanks a lot, man. It was a pleasure doing this interview. So, and I
Yeah,
wish you
same,
really
same.
good luck and good success in DreamHack Winter. I'm really looking forward to seeing
Thank you,
what you'll pull off during this tournament.
thank you.